And our house winner is, and I am thankful this person is in attendance, is Representative Cynthia Davis.
Certificate of Excellence in recognition of your outstanding adherence to the principles of the Constitution during the 2010 legislative session. We present to Representative Cynthia Davis the Locke and Smith Award.
Wow, this is quite astounding. I am really surprised, and I will say why. Because people like us don't normally win awards. You know, when we understand the constitutional principles and vote accordingly to what made this a great nation, we're usually not very popular. The people who win these kind of awards in general are usually people who give money to special interest groups. And they get a lot of pat on the backs. And after 8 years of serving in the legislature, I have never received anything like this. And it is a huge honor. I'm tremendously humbled. I am leaving, you know, probably some of you might know, but not without a few thoughts. One thing is, I leave after 8 years with a clean conscience. And even though, as I'm leaving, I finally get an award, which is stunning, I remember just a few weeks ago, we went to Jefferson City and heard our former Speaker of the House tell us never to compromise our values, never give away our integrity or let the power go to our head. And I have to say, I never let that happen. And it meant I could sleep good at night. And it meant that I felt good about my votes. And I'll just share, on my way to Jefferson City for the last time to clean up my office, I was singing the Rhinestone Cowboy. And you know, this is so true. I've been walking these streets along, singing the same old song. I know every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway or the Capitol, where profit's the name of the game and nice guys get washed away like the snow in the rain. And it is so true that when you do the right thing in Jefferson City or any level of government, it's not that popular. And I loved your story about the city council, because that's where I started when I was on the O'Fallon Board of Aldermen, and I saw them doing things that were outside of what I knew to be right. And it's been my guiding principle, but I just want to say thank you. Stay with me. I am encouraged. I am so encouraged that you're here, because there is hope for this country as long as there are people serving as a reminder. And I have gone on to be the chairman of the Republican Party in my county, and I am making it my goal to serve as a conscience for our party and to remind people of what we stand for. And as long as we remember the principles that made us a great country, we can bring the country back. Thank you.
Now, Cynthia actually agreed with us, or we agreed with her, over 80% of the time. And to tell you how close it was in the House of Representatives, there was 4 total votes that separated the top 3. which was Ms. Davis, Mr. Schaaf, and Mr. Kraus. Oh, who do you have? Can I get Mr. Kraus? Mr. Schaaf? Oh, I'll do one at a time, I'm sorry. Mr. Schaaf? And Mr. Roosevelt. Now our website's going to be updated to show who the winners were. The website will also be updated to show you which pieces of legislation that we determined that was rejected and which pieces of legislation that we accepted. One of the hardest things we found was it's too easy to reject something without being able to prove why it is that you were rejecting it. So one of the things that I asked the committee to do was to, when you read a bill, now granted, we realize some bills aren't new, you're just making changes to them. So the bills that you were just making changes to, that's the only part that we graded. We took the essence of the changes that you were making to determine whether or not that section that you were changing was either good or bad. And on bills that were rejected, we had to take a portion of that bill out and link it and say this is the reason that it was rejected. The language here either grows the size, scope, and power of government, or this is something that can be used. There's laws already against this, so you don't need to create new laws to do something that already exists. So if you get the opportunity, I'd really like to see that if you guys go to tycoa.com, look at the website, look at the basis of why it is that we rejected some of these pieces of legislation. And I have to admit, we did every appropriations bill, and many of you may disagree with us, but every appropriations bill we deemed bad. One of the reasons that we deemed it bad is because every single appropriations bill has stimulus dollars in it. And you cannot effectively balance the state of Missouri's budget while you're bankrupting the federal government. And what we would really like to see is people finally get up and say, no, we don't want your money because your money comes with strings. The people of Missouri can handle this. And I would really like to see that be in the essence of the next legislative session. And in 2011, we will be reviewing the legislation in the same manner. We will be having the 2011 Locke and Smith Award at some point in time. And I look forward to some of you returning and some of you actually having your name engraved on this plaque as the 2011 winner. Thank you.